Hello and welcome to the Complete Podcast Network. I'm Anthony Wilson, recording from Los Angeles, California. Joining me is someone who I wasn't sure was ever going to ever come on here again, and that is my dear friend Jason Wolf, the boxing aficionado. Jason, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Hello, podcasting world.
Yeah, welcome back, Jason. All right, so this is what happened. I had recorded a segment where I addressed Jason Wolf for his constant acting like this era of boxing is like the golden age of like the 1980s or something. And right before I was getting ready to upload, he calls me, and we're gonna just have it out right here. He said, "Listen, man, I'm getting ready to tell you something, brother. Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas, you were texting me last night acting like it was."
It was
And
an amazing fight.
I
It
looked
was
at the
an amazing. It was beautiful.
I looked at the highlights. It looked like a good scrap, like I told you. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more in general. First of all, I'll allow you to give yours since you watched the whole fight. I'll allow you to
Yeah.
give your take.
All right. Well, I had texted you right before the fight, and I thought it was going to end in a Boots decisive um, decision. I thought Xander was going. I did not think Xander Zayas was going to fight the way he fought Boots. It was insane. I told you so in the third round. Um, well, let's just start from the beginning. I mean, Zayas came out and just was fighting off the front foot. He's not loading up and throwing recklessly or anything, but he's coming forward. And that was just insane to do against Boots, you know. But he is the bigger man, right? Naturally, Zayas, that is. But he's not the bigger puncher. Um, and he certainly cannot punch with the type of combinations this Boots Ennis. So it was just oh, it was like a machismo strategy, even though Xander Zayas doesn't come off that way. He doesn't come off as letting his emotions just dictate what he's going to do because he's not a brawler. You know, typically we associate that sort of mindset with brawlers, but for whatever reason, he wanted that smoke. He went in for it, and in the first round, he got dropped. It was more of a flash knockdown, in between a flash and a real good shot. But he got up, handled it well. Second round, very similar, and and Boots was just kind of whooping him up, you know. And at that time, after the second round, it totally felt like this is this is going to end real soon here. It's kind of like you were waiting. And then I started to wonder in between rounds two and three, I started to think, well, that was a ton of energy, and he didn't get him out. I bet this goes decision. I bet this turns into kind of um, a fight where the leader Boots, the supreme fighter Boots, like he just goes into a different mode and eases off the gas and maybe boxes and just controls the fight that way. That's really what I thought was going to happen. Or not what I for sure thought was going to happen, but I thought it was going to be one of two things. Either Boots is going to get him out like next round or two, or Boots is going to let off the gas and coast to a decisive victory. Well, Boots let off the gas a little bit, but Zayas wasn't having any of this coasting to a victory shit, and he just started flying Boots' head, and he wobbled him badly. I haven't watched the fight back yet, so this was all, and I haven't even seen highlights actually. So this is all kind of um, off of my memory and what my immediate thoughts were, which are the same things I shared with you last night. That Boots was wobbled badly, and then a huge fight just broke out. They it was Berta Ortiz is what I said to you last night, and I stand by it for the next two rounds. There was no defense. Boots was the one criticism you can have about Boots is his defensive irresponsibility. But I do think he's really smart, and I think that after that third round and he felt Zayas' power, he just said, "All right, I'm really going for it now." It didn't deter him at all. It seemed to embolden him to continue to fight in that way, which was for Boots coming forward. I guess they were both coming forward, meet in the middle and exchange. And Boots was brilliant. He had, even though he was defensively irresponsible, especially in that third round, um, he is just so brilliant. He can slip. He can do everything. He fully chooses to fight that way. Um, and damn, it is exciting. It was one of the it was like Shakur kind of beating Teofimo Lopez in its impressiveness, right? Because of the level of opposition. But it was a level above that because Boots showed he's a mean dude, and I love him for it. I'm not going to put him above Shakur. I'm not going to, do that. And now I really want to sit down and see where I put Boots in my um, pound for pound ranking, but he's gonna be right right up. I feel like he's gonna be top five for me. I know there's a lot of guys that have been in that top 10 a while that have better resumes, but when it comes to the eye test, I mean, you just look at that and he's just different. He's special. That was the performance he needed. The crowd was, I estimated, 75% pro Zayas in New York with all those Puerto Ricans, and Boots just came in and stomped all over that shit, and it was awesome. It was the best fight of this year, I'd say, so far. We got still half a year to go, but that was fight of the year so far for me.
Okay. Just
Maybe not fight of the year, performance of the year, I'll say, because fight of the year needs to have a little more. It can't just be so one-sided as this fight, but I would say performance of the year, Boots Ennis.
okay. Now, just quickly, because you said he Luke is in your top five now. What is your top five pound for pound? Do you have it off hand?
Not not completely fleshed out, but I'll say Shakur number one. For me, he's a firm number one. He does he just does it all for me. Shakur number one, Love Bam. I put him number two above in a way who I have at number three, but I can swap those two. Either those two are brilliant. Um, I think I like Haney a little more maybe I guess than some, even though I also don't think Haney's like just all that, but I think he's scratching at the top five. Usyk is there. I think Usyk is getting long in the tooth. That his last performance against Rico was not impressive, so he's kind of there, kind of not. I mean, he's undefeated. He's the heavyweight champion of the world, but so he's kind of there. Although he just vacated. I don't know if you saw that. We don't need to get into that right now, but vacated all his belts. Um, and then Boots is right there too. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but and then Boots is right in there. I think I named just six guys off the top of my head. So Boots is right. He's right there. He's right around the top five, is what I'd say.
Okay. Now it's time for me to set you straight. Okay, about this. How you keep acting like, goddamn, we're watching, Hearns, Hagler, and Duran,
Yeah.
Leonard, and the main reason I'm not gonna say the main reason, but like, it's not even impossible for these guys that you love so much to for you to be talking about them how you do in such high regard when they don't fight each other. That's how That's
They
how
are fighting each other. They fight each other in this era much more than they did 15 years ago. It's not even close. Did Timothy Bradley ever fight uh, your boy? No. Did Margarito ever fight your boy? No. These are guys, these were champions at the same weight classes at the same time. And Floyd picked and chose. Um, they all did, and at this time, because the money is so big, they're not. We got, Garcia, popped with the PEDs after that, but still, we got Garcia, Haney, both of them in their prime or emerging prime. 15 years ago, we would never see that type of fight. Fighters were much more protected by their
okay,
promoters
so
than
but
they are now
okay,
because the money is so astronomical right now with Saudi. So these guys can't not fight each other. They're getting paid so much.
okay, so top you said 15 years ago we wouldn't be able to see Garcia Haney, but 25, 26 years ago we saw Oscar and Shane Mosley. They fought the money.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Are you telling me that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is at all anywhere close to being the same quality of fight as Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley?
Mm, I think Garcia, if he stays on the straight and narrow, which is really hard to know if he's going to do that. But if he does, he seems like his last performance was absolutely brilliant. Um, and I think that if he can be mature for the this latter half of his career, he's still in his prime. I think he will for sure be a Hall of Famer. I think Devin Haney for sure is a Hall of Famer.
I think Ryan Garcia is
You
a
know,
Hall of Famer.
no, that's not what I said. I said he could be in the future if he stays on the straight and narrow. But he has all of that. He has all the skills. He's just a head case, right? But their talent is undeniable. This is what I try to tell you. Just watch them. Just watch these fights. You don't watch in these fights, so you really have no basis to stand on. But just watch them, and you can tell the way you can watch basketball, the NBA, in the 80s and in 2020, and you can see, oh, look, this is a slightly different game, perhaps, um, and rules allow for different things. But by and large, there are more skilled players in the NBA today, and I hate to say it because I don't even watch the NBA today, but there are, right, than than the 80s. The seventh guy on the team, second guy off the bench, is going to be more talented in today's day and age than then. Similarly with boxing, their nutrition, they have the benefit of being able to watch Roberto Duran and Hearns and all these, and they do. So many of these fighters are students. They didn't just come up watching Floyd and stuff like us. They watch a lot of these great fighters. Um, so I'm not saying this is the greatest era ever, but it's a fantastic era, and it is a golden era. It's better than it was 15 years ago, even though my favorite fighters were 15 years ago. This is just a better boxing era right now.
All right, we have to take a little break. Jason. So now you said Shakur Stevenson, your number one pound for pound, right? He moved up to
Correct.
140 now. You said. What I want to know, okay, so I'm gonna start. This guy is so great. Okay, so I'm gonna put him against some other. Do you remember when Shane Mosley was at 135 pounds?
Give me his fights, and I'll tell you if I remember it.
I don't, because he didn't really hit the mainstream like that until he fought
Yeah,
Oscar. That was at
right.
47. Um, but shoot, so I guess I can ask you who you think would win at 35 between Shakur and Shane, right? You know,
I
Shane at
mean,
35 was like a little Tasmanian devil kind of. And he was probably the best lightweight. I mean, he was one of the best lightweights since Duran at 35. Um, I'm trying to think. So
I would have to really watch some Mosley 135 fights to make
Okay.
a judgment on that.
How about shoot again? Okay. Okay. How about this one? Shakur Stevenson. This is Styles makes fights happen. Shakur Stevens. Okay, remember when Pacquiao only fought one fight at 135, and that was
Yeah, he
against it was David Diaz, I think it was, and Pacquiao knocked him. It was a bloody one of those. I
yeah.
mean, one of the best performances ever. Somebody only fought at that weight at one time, right? So Pacquiao versus Diaz. I'm sorry, Pacquiao versus Shakur at
No,
135.
no. Pacquiao beats anybody.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We starting to rank them. I keep thinking. I was talking
Okay.
about when I was.
Who do you think anybody beats Pacquiao at 135?
Well, he only fought there once.
I know, but just given his body, like
I mean, Duran is Duran. You know, Purnell. Purnell. I think style wise is like you know
Pacquiao fought Hatton at 140, right?
right. Um,
And that was when he beat Hatton the way he beat Hatton, he everyone proclaimed him as the best fighter in the world. But even at 140, I think that was kind of a big weight for him. You know what I mean? Like just the way his body is. I
mhm,
mean, even now at after fighting, he can still make 147 just because he's naturally a littler dude, right?
mhm,
So I think the lower you get with him, not the lower because then he wouldn't have the explosion, but I'd say 135 Pacquiao, no one's fucking touching him. I don't know, maybe even Duran. I don't know. Pacquiao at 135 is just unreal to me. The speed and the power, everything's there.
okay. Well, what about Shakur
So
versus?
yeah, he beat Shakur. Yes, sorry.
Okay, what about Shakur versus Marquez at 135? Marquez versus Juan Diaz at 135. One of my favorite lightweight championship fights of
Yeah,
all time.
Baby Bull knocks him down what twice in the
No, no,
early
no. He didn't knock him down.
Juan Diaz.
No, Juan Diaz did not knock Manuel Marquez down.
Did Katsidas knock
I
Juan
think
Manuel
Castitas,
Marquez?
yeah, and I was thinking about Castitas today. I'm gonna talk about
Okay.
it in my little segment.
Okay, then I'm confusing. I was confusing those two fights because so Katsidas knocked down Marquez early.
Mm-hmm.
Was it once or twice? Because I thought
It might have been
Katsidas
twice. It was at
was
least
gonna,
twice.
dude. He rocked his ass too.
Mm-hmm.
So Shakur versus Marquez. I think Shakur makes Marquez look similar to how he looked against Floyd. I think Shakur just outboxes him, and because he doesn't come forward too aggressively, Marquez I don't think would ever find a suitable counter. And he's a counter puncher, and just I mean I think he'd just be getting pot. It would make for a boring fight, right? Two counter punchers, and I think Shakur would win quite easily. I'd say
Shakur versus Mikey Garcia, 135 pounds.
that's a great one. Um, when did how high up did Mikey Garcia go?
I don't remember. Remember, he took those years
He-
off and he
yeah,
came back and he went. I don't think he was really.
he wasn't as
He
yeah he
kind of
wasn't the
lost
same.
the magic, kind of. I
Well,
loved him though.
his body was different, dude. He was
I
yeah he
love
could
Mikey
do it all.
Garcia, bro. At his best.
I think that would, yeah, I think that would be closer than Marquez, even though I think Marquez would probably, it's all about styles. I think Marquez would do really well against Garcia, I feel like. But I think Garcia does better against Shakur. I'm trying to imagine his jab, how, that's his style of fighting would probably be the best way to beat Shakur. That'd be a great fight. So much recency bias, It's trying to like how I'm still going to go Shakur, but I think it's a close decision. So I'll put it that way.
Okay. Shakur Stevenson. What about the 140?
Was Garcia's background? He didn't have an extensive amateur pedigree, as I remember. He kind of got into it late and was kind of not forced, but sort of forced just because his whole family did it, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
So, I mean, Shakur has been, you can't discount that. There's a reason I'm bringing this up. He was an Olympic medalist, right?
Mm,
Has been fighting since he was a kid, probably like 10 or something or younger. So, I mean, his skills are, he's like a Spartan warrior. He was bred to do this. So,
Okay. I'm gonna do a couple more. He's on 140 now. So Shakur
mhm.
versus Ricky Hatton. Probably an easy 140.
Come on, at 140,
Hatton beat
that's
the
when
bad at
Hat,
140
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's Hatton. And I think that Shakur, oh shit. I think Hatton would beat him. I do. Because um, when Shakur fought Zepeda, I say
though.
that was his toughest fight. That was at 135. I'm pretty sure that was at 135. And Zepeda is a poor man's Ricky Hatton. That's it. And so I do think at 140 Hatton will get him. But again, I think Shakur's best weight is probably 135. He's going to go up to 147 eventually, but it's only because he's just supremely talented. He can do that by being a smaller guy because of how damn good he is. But I think 135 probably suits him the best. So yeah, I'll go Hatton at 140 over Shakur.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take another quick break, and then when I come back, I'm gonna ask Jason, not quite the ultimate, but like the ultimate for like, since we've been watching boxing, I'm gonna ask him who would win, Shakur Stevenson or Floyd Mayweather at 135 pounds. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So Jason rejected the Floyd and Shakur Stevenson uh, question because he figured.
Only because I think it's an easy Floyd, but we don't need to get into it.
And
I
so
think that's
that's what
just
I'm saying though. When I
yeah.
when I actually put you to the test and start asking, like, sort of like putting these guys up against like the actual like gods, then you're like, well, why even talk about it? That's actually the point that I'm making though. You know?
Yeah, but okay. Okay, so Shakur's not Floyd Mayweather. That doesn't mean that this is a shitty era. That's like
Okay,
ridiculous
but
to
don't
do
talk
that.
about him like he's Mayweather. You know, he's not. He's not. He's a
He's that
fantastic fighter for his era.
he's the closest thing. He is Kobe to MJ right now, as far as I'm concerned. There's nobody that has been, and he has a much different personality. I do not mean at all. I just totally mean, and he's a southpaw, so it's different. But I just mean in skill. He's the closest thing to Floyd. Defensively, he's just a savant. It's brilliant.
Okay, so you said Bruce Ennis is at his best at 154, right?
Yeah, I do think that.
Okay, now at 54, I'm trying to think who were the best 50. So 54 was like that weight class where okay, Boots Ennis versus Oscar De La Hoya at 154 pounds. Who wins?
Mm, probably Boots. De La Hoya at 154 was just he didn't have power really. He was uh, definitely Boots. I think that De La Hoya was his best like 140, one like closer to that than closer to 154. So I'd say Boots. But I mean De La Hoya starts whooping him up at the l- lower weight decision the divisions. So I'm not saying that Boots is like just way better than that weight class. Give me Boots.
Boots Ennis. By the way, I disagree. Oscar I think he was at his best. They're better at
Who who
47 and
who
54
was who was? Wait, you think De La Hoya was best at 147?
and 54 than you know lower than that. Um,
Oh,
listen, Boots Ennis or Canelo Alvarez 154.
where did De La Hoya fight Chavez?
That was lower. That was like 140.
That was like one, yeah, or like 135 even, I think. And that version of De La Hoya, not that that was his, toughest fight. Chavez was, well past his prime, but that version of De La Hoya was fucking tough. I'm pretty that version of De La Hoya. Did you ask me De La Hoya versus Shakur?
I don't think so.
I don't think you did. I think I go that version of De La Hoya over Shakur. Just how long he was and that hook, that left hook. Just yeah, I think he negates Shakur. All right, Boots Ennis and Cotto
Canelo.
at 154. I mean Canelo.
Yeah.
He definitely beats Cotto at 154. Cotto was chunky at
So
154.
154.
Um, Canelo, I can't. I got to see more from Boot. I mean, as brilliant as that performance was, were uh, were both Golovkin fights at 160?
Yes. Golovkin didn't fight at 54.
Okay,
That's a
yeah.
big time. You know?
154. Where do you remember where his fight with Austin Trout was at?
I was at
That's a tough.
54.
That was 54?
Yeah.
Because I thought Austin Trout beat him that fight.
I
So
think I did too,
I
if I
was
recall.
I was scoring that fight, and I'll try to find my old scorecard, but I'm pretty sure Austin Trout won that fight. Uh, hmm, yeah, yeah. Give me Boots. Give me Boots at 154 over Canelo. Fuck it.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Um,
But I mean it. But I mean it.
yeah, so some of these other guys, most of these other guys were at their best at 47. And if they
Yeah,
were at 54,
yeah.
it was kind of like,
54 has never really been a glamour division.
right. Like Oscar outgrew
Yeah,
47 and went to 54. Some of these other guys,
exactly,
some
exactly.
of the other guys
Yeah,
did, but they didn't really carry it as well as Oscar. Because, Oscar's
yeah,
tall, 5'10". Um,
yeah, yeah.
do you have any last words or anything you want to say, like looking ahead? Got like 5 minutes left. I'm
Um,
gonna give you 3 minutes.
just that I think last night a star was born. I think Boots is like I I think my text at the end of the fight said Boots is it. Boots and Shakur are kings or something along those lines. And I think this is like a new era sort of thing. Boots is only 28, and I think that um, he's gonna start chopping up a lot of names, and become kind of the money man. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on Boots, and I'm all in on Shakur.
All right, so thank you, Jason, for finally doing this. All right, so
My pleasure.
before we get out of here, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button next to Lakers Almanac and to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network. You can also send feedback and mailback questions to CompleteLakersPodcast at gmail.com. We are out.